husband said his nephews needed him more than our daughters did, so I stopped arguing and let him prove himself right. My husband told me his nephews needed him more than our daughters ever would. I stopped arguing 3 months ago and finally let him prove himself right. It started when his brother Alan got divorced 2 years ago. Alan has twin boys, Cody and Mason, who were 7 at the time. My husband Will stepped up immediately, saying those boys needed a father figure since Alan was such a mess. I thought it was sweet at first. Will took them to baseball practice on Saturdays, helped with homework when Alan worked late, showed up for their school events. The problem was that our daughters, Audrey and Tessa, were 10 and 8 at the time, and Will started showing up less and less for them. Audrey had soccer games every Saturday. Will missed 6 in a row because the twins had baseball. Tessa started piano lessons and asked her dad to come to her first recital. Will said he would try, but Alan needed help moving into a new apartment that weekend. He never made it. I brought it up gently at first. The girls are starting to notice you're gone a lot. Will got defensive every time. Those boys have nobody. Our girls have both of us. They'll understand. They didn't understand. Audrey stopped asking Will to come to her games. Tessa quit practicing piano because she said there was no point. When I told Will our daughters were pulling away from him, he said I was being dramatic. The breaking point came last October on Audrey's 11th birthday. We planned a small party with her friends. That morning, Alan called panicking. Mason got sick at school, and Alan couldn't leave work. Could Will pick him up? Will looked at me with the expression I'd seen 100 times. It's just for a couple hours. I'll be back before the party starts. He wasn't back before the party. He wasn't back until 9 p.m. because Alan convinced him to stay for dinner as a thank you. Audrey blew out her candles without her father there. When she made her wish, she whispered to me, I wished Daddy would come home. That night, I decided to stop fighting. If Will wanted to be a father to his nephews instead, I would let him see what that actually looked like. I stopped reminding Will about the girls' schedules. I stopped covering for him when he missed events. When Audrey asked where Daddy was, I started saying, he's with your cousins. You can ask him why when he gets home. I took the girls on weekend trips, just the 3 of us. I signed them up for Saturday activities and drove them myself. When Will came home to an empty house one Sunday, I simply said, we went to the aquarium. You were at Alan's. The shift was slow but brutal. Audrey and Tessa started treating Will like a roommate. They asked me for permission, told me about their days, showed me their schoolwork. Will would try to engage, and they gave him one-word answers before running off to find me. He finally noticed at Christmas. We were at my parents' house and both girls stayed glued to my side the entire day. When Will suggested they help him build a snowman, Tessa said, no thanks. Mom already said she would make hot chocolate with us. Will looked gutted. Later that night, he cornered me in the kitchen. Why do our daughters act like I'm a stranger to them? I kept my voice calm. Because you chose to be one. You spent 2 years being Cody and Mason's dad while your own daughters sat on the sidelines waiting for scraps of your time. They finally stopped waiting. He tried to argue, but I wasn't finished. Alan's boys have a father. He's just lazy and figured out you would do his job for free. Meanwhile, Audrey and Tessa have one dad, and he's been at his brother's house every single weekend for 2 years. Will went quiet. I watched it hit him all at once. The next week, he told Alan he needed to step back. Alan threw a fit, called Will selfish, and stopped speaking to him entirely. That reaction confirmed everything I suspected. Alan had been using my husband because it was convenient, not because he genuinely needed the help. It took months for the girls to warm up again. Will had to earn back their trust by showing up to every game, every recital, every bedtime story. There were hard moments. Audrey told him once that she used to pray he would pick her over her cousins just once. Will cried in our bedroom that night. Now, 6 months later, things are better. Not perfect, but better. Last Saturday, Will declined Alan's call so he could take Audrey to her soccer game. She scored her first goal and sprinted straight into his arms. On the drive home, she said quietly, Dad, I'm really glad you started picking us. He caught my eyes in the rearview mirror, tears running down his face. Me too, sweetheart. I'm sorry it took me so long to figure it out.